let's go to Baller Sports, who asks opinion on Bronny.
Oh, my opinion on Bronny. Well, first off, this USC team has been kind of rough to watch recently. Let's start there. Been watching USC recently, and that is not fun. It has not been a fun watch at all. My opinion on Bronny is I currently have him at, let's see, I have him at 37 on my board. And a part of me wonders if 37 is too high. Just because we'll see. I mean, he finally, well, I don't even want to say he had a decent game. Like, he had a game recently. Who's it against? Arizona State. Right? Was it Arizona State, Corey? Am I
I believe so.
Yeah. Put up like 15 points, whatever. It's just so early, dude. And he's coming off of such a scary situation. To be that young and to have a heart attack is scary, dude. Like, you can sugarcoat it, you can look at it a million different ways, but to be that young and to be as fit as he is and to have a heart attack at that age is scary. And I think NBA teams will look at that and have that in mind 100%. You know, that is a part of the game that is terrifying. His situation, I think, that's terrifying and hard to ignore. But in terms of his game itself, I think we've always been high on him as an elite athlete, really strong defender, developing outside shooter, can move the ball, pass the ball. You've compared him to Jalen Suggs in the past, which I think is a really interesting comp for him. But we can't take the evaluation of his game and not consider everything that's happened, you know? And so I think at this point in the draft class, with it being so early on and him only having played just a handful of games, we have to play the wait and see here. We have to be patient and continue to see how this develops and how his health continues to check out. And I'm not like trying to say that like we think he's going to have another heart attack on the floor or anything like that, but it was a very serious situation and we can't ignore that. And to see how he recovers from that and how he continues to develop beyond that, I think is a really important part of his eval. But if we were to take all that out and just look at his skill set and size and all that stuff, you could see a guy who can become like a really strong defensive guard who can offer some outside shooting and a ton of athleticism.
Yeah, let's say we take that out, the health stuff. He impressed me all week at Hoop Summit last year. Yeah. You know, like he looks as strong in person as he does on TV, right? He looks like somebody just took LeBron and just squished them a little bit like a cartoon and made him shorter. Like, that's what he looks like physically. I thought his athleticism really, really popped in person, and we saw that immediately with that chase down block, right? Yeah. When he has a runway or a little bit of space to like really get some momentum, he can explode. Like, he is a super, super athletic guy. I don't think that athleticism translates as much in tight spaces yet. And I think that's something he has to learn and get better with. I really believe in the shot. I think that especially as a spot up shooter, like, he's going to be a guy that you can trust to make shots and play off of other guys. And, you know, considering, like you mentioned, the Jalen Suggs type of role that he could possibly play, like, I think being able to play off other guys and knock down shots is going to be a super important skill that he needs. And I think he has that. I like that he just had a big game, so things are trending, you know, in the right spot as he's getting more comfortable. Right. I love his feel. I don't think he is some kind of primary initiator or anything like that, but he's definitely a guy that can, you know, make the right pass. He'll make the one more. He'll keep the ball swinging. He has good court vision. He gets rid of it quickly. He plays 0.5. Like, he definitely fits what teams want. And then defensively, I just love him defensively. I really do think he's a pit bull. I think he has such great instincts. He's strong enough to, you know, kind of guard up a little bit if you need him to. And I think that's ultimately the goal. Now, I think Suggs is a little bit bigger. Like, I don't know. You're what, 6'3"?
Me, I'm 6'2".
Yeah. 6'2", and Bronny was what? Shorter, a little shorter than you?
About 1.5 inches shorter than me, to be honest.
Yeah, right. So he's probably 6'1", right?
6
like,
foot, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, Suggs is taller and whatnot. And I think that matters. But ultimately, if he could just be a really, really grimy point of attack defender who can, you know, make the right decision on, you know, when he gets the ball swung to him, whether that's shooting or attacking in a line drive, keeping the game simple. and then maybe potentially being able to knock down shots off the bounce or, with a screen and whatnot. I think that's something that's a valuable player. And in this draft, it would not shock me at all if a team spent a first round pick on him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that means, if they would have hopes of LeBron coming in free agency because they took, him in the draft. I'm certain that if a team does that, that's, in the back of their mind, whether or not that would be the reason, or if Bronny is just, the kind of talent in this draft that you could maybe feel safe with from a skill perspective. It wouldn't shock me, but yeah, I like Bronny as a prospect, and I hope that he has a clean bill of health for the rest of the year, and he continues to get better.
Corey, I think when you watch him play, it just feels like he's LeBron's son. And I mean that in the best way. Like imagine LeBron James was your dad with his wealth of basketball IQ and knowledge and experience, the things that LeBron could teach you growing up. And who knows, from everything we've seen and what we've heard, he seems like an incredible dad who probably had great conversations with his sons about basketball. And I feel like you see that when he plays. Everything that you said about his processing, that 0.5 basketball that he can play, I think a lot of that has to come from him being LeBron James's son, and he has that freak athleticism to him as well. And as you mentioned, Corey, it is something that he's got to work on in terms of in tight spaces with burst and stuff like that. But I think he can really be an effective guard. Somebody, Dirty Dancer just wrote so maybe like a GP3 or something. I think that's an interesting name, right? That's a name to think of if he continues to grow. To be honest, me in shoes, I am 6'3", so maybe he is 6'1", 6'2", and so if he's wearing LeBron's as his shoes, he'll probably get to 6'4". Who knows, right? But I think he's got decent enough size and he may continue to grow. And if he ends up at, who knows, 6'3", 6'4", maybe he can even become a Marcus Smart type. Who knows, right? He has such acumen and ability on the defensive side of the ball, and what he's going to offer as a floor spacer and a terror in transition. It's easy to get excited about this type of player. Now, once again, I don't think either one of us, I know neither one of us are trying to claim that we think he'll ever be a number one option or a star of a team. But I think there's more than enough juice there for him to be a really effective NBA guard.